The council members had a chance to look at the minutes. Is there a motion we approve?
So moved. Second.
Second. Motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Minutes approved. Yeah. So it's good to see everyone here. Mr. Bell will not be here today.
So-
He'll be here next week. So we'll start with department comments, and Zach, got you right today.
Yes, sir. Okay, we have two rezonings coming to you guys tonight. The first one is at 8500 North Baton, or Mount Batten Road Northeast. This was the condominium PUD that y'all approved a few weeks ago. That area along the actual shoreline is being proposed to be rezoned to BN in order to allow, you can see here, this is the overall project, but the marina store and the restaurant are within that. I'll show you. You can see the line here. That is the parcel on the shoreline that is being proposed to be rezoned. The rest of it stays R1. And again, that's in order to allow for the marina store and the restaurant that is currently non-conforming but is there today, currently legal non-conforming, to actually be allowed by right.
Zach, what's the red box?
That would be the marina store that they're proposing, the one
So
on the
down
top.
here's the restaurant,
Yes, sir.
and up there is the marina store.
Yes, sir.
Zach, this has nothing to do with the bigger issue, which is the boat slips and all of that. So whether this is rezoned or not tonight after the public hearing, if the other doesn't pass or isn't, it doesn't really matter. Correct, or?
They could still go forward with, again, the restaurant and the marina store, everything
But-
above that acquisition line. But anything below,
Okay.
yes, sir, would need to be, it will come to you guys for approval.
And why would we do this and not have the other approved? Why would we not do this together?
You could do it together. I mean, there's no right way to do it, I guess. It's just this specifically, anything north of the acquisition line won't have anything to do with the boat slips or anything like that. So it's just two separate processes that don't necessarily affect the other.
What were their plans after rezoning the marina?
After rezoning the marina,
Mm-hmm.
it would be to expand that restaurant a little, so to expand the footprint of the restaurant, make it kind of more of a restaurant than an event space like it is today. And then the marina store to actually build a little marina store that would have, it's almost like a convenience store for boaters. Which again, that would, be part of the boat slips. I'm sure that would affect the way that the boat slips are lined up and everything. However, they are two separate processes that you're looking at. And those boat slips, the marina, et cetera, will all come to you guys as well through the Lakes Division.
Tonight?
Not tonight. They're still working on what that might look like.
What's your best guess on when that will appear? A couple of weeks?
We did meet with them yesterday. I think they might have more information on that.
I mean, we've been working with them, we've been, working from a code standpoint, trying to get our best, the best things that we can based on that use best practices that we have, because we don't have a lot of regulations related to commercial, so we are working on that, but I would imagine within the next 2 weeks or so, we'll probably see it on Properties Committee. So that's what we're shooting for anyways,
Gotcha.
So probably not next Tuesday, probably the next one.
probably.
In about 3 weeks.
Any thoughts? Mr. Crowe, anything you want to share right now?
I would
or-
kind of like to see what happens at the public hearing tonight.
Yeah.
To me, I can't imagine, even though they're not joined at the hip, that one is not contingent on the other, as we've been talking back and forth. I mean, to me, I think it would be good to know exactly what we're voting on as a council, really on both ends personally. But I kind of want to leave that open, I guess, and let's see what my colleagues think.
Okay.
It might need, might consider tabling it, Mr. President.
Do you
Yes,
know
sir.
if the developer has made any progress towards soothing the residential objections up there, or are they still as at odds as they were?
I think there has been, I met with the developer Friday afternoon, and I've purposely tried to let Lakes kind of handle that and kind of say, this is what we think we should do. I met with him, I think there's been some compromise on cutting back on some of the boat slips and stuff, but I don't know exactly where that stands yet, because I think they are working, is it accurate, Kimberly, to try to respond to some stuff and see what they think they can and can't do, Councilman Busby. So I think there's been some movement toward some type of agreement, which is encouraging. But I would like to hear kind of what the public hearing is tonight and just kind of see what makes most sense. I appreciate y'all
Frankly, I was,
consideration for that, because I still think there's a lot of concerns by some of the neighbors that I would like to have some information given there before we actually vote
yeah,
on the other part, yeah. But this is, to me, I don't think one of them's gonna happen without the other. Is that fair, Zach?
That's fair. Yes, sir.
Even if you vote on the rezoning, if the other's not agreed to, or there isn't some reason to agree.
If you can't put the boats there, there's nothing to
Correct.
sell in the store.
So that's why I kind of feel like, I'd like to see a vote probably on all of them at once, but I think let's just wait. If it's okay with y'all, just wait and see what's presented tonight.
frankly, I was a little
What the hearing
surprised
is.
when I got your email, because I haven't got one call from the residents, where the last one, of course, that's all I did, stay on the phone with them, seemed like.
You will.
And I'm sure I will.
Yeah, because there's several that are still unhappy about it, but what I've tried to tell people is,
But the votes
Yes.
could be tonight, so I'm surprised nobody's.
and some of them may show up, but I think one of the things I think has been hard for me to do as a council person, I haven't been here very long, is sometimes you have to reserve judgment a little bit until you know what actually it is we're voting on, right? So I don't want to sit here and say, I'm against this, I know, well, I don't know what may end up coming out, and I'm hoping that Lakes and the developer will work out something that's reasonable, right? And I kind of feel like let them do their job, and then let's see where we go.
So we'll just hear it tonight and play it by ear.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you.
I just have one other one. So you do have another rezoning. This is 6201 New Watermelon Road from R1 to R4 for the Builders Group. So this is close to where the McWright's Ferry Road is going to be going. As you can see there, just north of the spillway. So I just want to point out here that northern piece, so there's two pieces of property here. The one to the south is primarily where that rezoning is going to be located. You can see here. The north will remain R1. So they are rezoning to R4 in order to build townhomes, as you can see here, 33 townhomes. All of the shaded area is what they are rezoning to R4. The rest of it, just north of that, is going to be remaining R1. And as you can see, the county is located to the south, so it's not next to city limits. And then to the north, there is an established neighborhood. And these are kind of what they're going to look like. And it does conform to framework. Any questions on that one? All right.
Any
Thank you.
questions? Thank you, Zach. Mr. Junkin?
We've got two for y'all tonight. Which one we do first? At the 2016 Fifth Street, the owner is aware of the condemnation. She's not going to contest it. She actually signed the condemnation letter for us, so she won't be here. She's not going to object to it or appeal it. Just be up and down.
What district is that, Barry?
5.
That's at the railroad tracks, isn't it?
That's on Fifth Street, off of Kicker.
Here, boys, girls club.
That's a long one.
Your Head Start.
Okay. Wow.
And the next one is out on Cumberland Park Road. This one is basically a vacant property with 2 or 3 mobile homes on it and a couple of accessory buildings. We've condemned all the accessory buildings and the mobile homes. It does have a residential structure on it, but it is excluded from the condemnation. This one here, we're gonna ask you to table it for at least 30 days. They've got a potential buyer that says he's gonna close next week and he'll start cleaning it up. We may ask you to withdraw this in 30 days.
Okay.
That's it.
Questions? Mr. Junkin, thank you very much.
Thank y'all.
You and Virgil. Antonius, you have half the agenda today.
Good afternoon, Councilman Mayor. I figured I'd keep y'all a little busy this afternoon. We got 17 applications today. Yeah. The first one is that the Retail Merchants Walk, Suite 5B is for North River Cattle Company LLC. They're applying for a retail beer off premises and retail table wine off premises license.
Yeah, that's Norman's different.
Y'all love that.
Just get some liqueur. All right, my second application. Yeah. Second application is for 1137 University Boulevard, the Batrap LLC. They're changing from a restaurant retail liquor license to a lounge retail liquor license. And then
Say that again, change it
They're
from
changing
from
from
a
a
restaurant to a
Glad
lounge.
to see it.
yeah.
Yeah. What's the, Tony, you mind just telling us what that difference is?
It's just basically allowed them to do more activities with the alcohol license. They're not restricted to having a certain percentage as far as food sales. It's mainly allow them to act as a bar.
But doesn't it also restrict more I mean, if you're a restaurant, anybody can come in any day.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes,
That's
sir.
not the case.
Not on this one, in the lounge, you have to be 21 years to.
And that'll be appropriately licensed then.
That's right. I should have been.
All right, and then the next 15 are the fraternity and sorority parties conducted by Downtown Entertainment. The first one is the ATO at 322 University Boulevard. That's for October 8th event. The second one is ATO at the same location, 322 University Boulevard. The third one will be for the DKE Alumni Game Day at 946 University Boulevard. The fourth one will be again for DKE 946 University Boulevard.
So these are not all for October 8th, right? They're
No, sir. It's
spread
gonna
out through October.
be, so it'll be the 2 home games would be October 8th or October 22nd.
22nd.
Yes, sir. Then we have the Sigma Nu for at 990 University Boulevard for October 8th. Again, it's the Sigma Nu at 990 University Boulevard for October 22nd. KA Alumni Party at 416 University Boulevard for October 8th, and then again for October 22nd. The Phi Gam at 976 University Boulevard for October 8th and October 22nd. Phi Psi at 312 University Boulevard for October 8th and October 22nd. Then we have SAE at 432 University Boulevard for October 8th and 22nd. And then the last one I have is for Rhyme or Reason at Joe Malisham, 2301 Joe Malisham Parkway for October 31st.
What is what is
This
Rhyme?
Downtown Entertainment's putting it on. I think this one, I'm not sure what it is. They'll be here to answer more questions on that.
It's a Halloween
It's
party.
Halloween. Yes, sir.
Brandon's doing that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, any questions, Mr. Dills? Thank you, sir. Mayor Maddox.
I'm good. Any updates we can get today?
Okay. Randy, we have board appointments for para and Tuscaloosa Tourism and Sports.
Okay, so I will start with para. So we've got Miss Peggy Hogue. Her term expired last week. She has expressed interest to be reappointed. It is a 3-year term. She has been on the board for quite a while, close to, I want to say 2 decades. So if you guys would like, you can reappoint her, or we can go ahead and open the portal to accept resumes for 2 weeks.
I like her. I think she's done a great job, and now they're doing transition with the new director. So it's probably good to have some veterans on that board.
That works for me. So then, we've got Tuscaloosa Tourism and Sports. I brought back up today, over in that corner, you see the lovely Miss Kelsey Rush and Blake Madison. The Tuscaloosa Tourism and Sports Board, they have adopted new bylaws. So their new bylaws, well, there's one section of their bylaws that we need you guys to pay attention to. There is one section that says that, starting in January of 2023, all directors that have served 2 terms will be required to roll off for a term of 1 year before they are eligible to be reappointed. So keep that in mind as we move forward over the next couple of months and make board appointments. So I'm coming to you guys today with Ms. Samira Snoddy and Dennis Connor. Samira is the current chair of the board. Her term expired last week. And Mr. Dennis Connor, his term also expired last week. If you remember, last year we appointed Mr. Dennis Connor to fill an unexpired term, so he hasn't quite served a full term just yet.
Can't go that fast.
So he would qualify to have 2 terms, right? Since he came to an unfinished term, right?
Well, Mr. Dennis Connor, if he gets reappointed, would this count as his second full
This will
term
be his first.
or?
Yeah, because he's completing, that first term that he's completing is still considered a full term.
A full term.
Really?
Even though he was only there for a certain period of time, but he's eligible to be reappointed at this point.
Yes, so if
It'll
we
be after-
reappoint him this time, this will count as his second term. So he'll have to come off after those 3 years for a year, and then he can be eligible to be reappointed.
Okay.
So this doesn't go into effect until January.
Right.
Yes.
I like those two.
Two good folks.
Let's
Easy
go with
peasy. So it sounds like we're reappointing Samira and Dennis, and then also Miss Peggy Hogue.
it. Okay.
Those are, Dennis and Tamara, those 3-year term?
3-year terms, yes.
Peggy's is a 4-year term?
3-year term.
3-year term, okay.
And I'm assuming they want to be reappointed.
They do,
Okay.
yes.
Blake, on
Bless 'em.
on the 2
don't.
terms and then have to take a 1-year break, does that apply to board seats that are a function of position?
It does not apply to your position. It applies to everyone else's.
You trying to get out? Get out.
Well, when it was set up years ago that the council's representative would be the finance chair.
That's
So
correct.
whoever's finance chair, it's automatic on the tourism.
Well, his phone been blowing up since they seen he got another talent, the sculpture. He kinda busy, he getting more orders in.
And just so the council knows, when that term limit effect goes
You
in.
come up here, Blake. Please.
Didn't go from my mouth. Just want to be sure you guys stay informed. It does not, the term limit does not impact anybody that's up for reappointment this year, but beginning next year,
Okay,
you will have a seat from the city council that will be term limited and that will need a new appointment. Coach Sarah Patterson will have finished up her 2nd term next September, end of September. And so you will need a new appointment next year for the city council position. I think that's the only city council position that comes up next year. So just to put that in your thoughts, you've got plenty of time to think about that, but I just want to make sure you understood that. Any questions?
no, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Was there gonna be some more discussion about, moving forward about the change in appointments, who gets so many, or was that today, or?
They have,
That was in the bylaws.
yes, so they have already adopted all of their new bylaws. All of that's
Okay,
included
so
in
we're
that.
not gonna.
No, you guys are, if you'd
Yeah,
like me to
I've
send
seen
you a
them.
copy of it, I can.
Yeah, I've seen the copy, and I'm fine, I just wondered.
Yes, it's all already in there.
Gotcha. All right, sounds good. Mr. Bobbitt.
Good afternoon, council.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Holmes is out today, so I'm coming in from the bullpen. That reminds me, go Braves tonight. Go Braves.
My last night, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna start on page 2. There are only 2 items there that weren't covered by IPS, excuse me. That's not good. Covered by the previous speakers, and that is on page 19 and 20, we're going to be setting the cost for demolition of the structure at 1709, also known as 1717 28th Avenue, and authorizing filing of lien in the amount of $2,945.68. Likewise, on page 31, we're also setting the cost for demolition of the structure at 2623 11th Street, and authorizing the filing of a lien in the amount of $3,757.65. And I will be moving over to the top of page 4. On page 40, you'll be approving the formation of a public corporation and authorizing the mayor to execute documents related to the change of entity and incorporation of the Tuscaloosa County Road Improvement Commissions. You heard about that at projects last week. Page 41, you'll be authorizing Amendment 1 to the contract with Pyre Technology Group for professional services for the Tuscaloosa Municipal Court software project. You will hear about that at projects today. Page 42, authorizing professional services agreement with Duncan and Coker Associates for professional engineering related services for the Lift Station 22 Force Main replacement and wastewater characterization project in an amount not to exceed $344,103. You heard about that at projects
344,
last
you
week.
said?
I'm sorry?
You said 344?
344,103.
Ours says 377, 103.
344.
Yours
said
says
three-
344?
Page 41.
What page?
We're looking on the
42, right?
page, I'm reading from the agenda page, not the resolution.
On page 42, it's 377. But on the agenda, it's,
Typo? Okay, it is typo. It is correct in the resolution.
So it's 44.
77.
377, yes. Page 43, be authorizing the purchase of wetland and stream impacts mitigation credits for the McWrights Ferry Road project not to exceed $500,000. That was heard at projects last week. Page 44, authorizing the mayor to execute a professional services contract with Civic Plus for 311 software maintenance and training. That was likewise heard at projects last week. Page 45, authorizing renewal of professional services with DataWorks Plus LLC not to exceed $3,302.50. That was heard at projects last week. Page 46, authorizing professional services contract with Harmon Connected Services, Inc., total not to exceed $25,000. That was heard at projects last week. Page 47, authorizing a contract with John B. Galloway for bridge inspection services, total not to exceed $58,860. That will be heard at projects today. Page 48, authorizing the mayor to enter into contract with Warrior Security LLC for as-needed technical services in an amount not to exceed $10,000. You will likewise hear that at projects today. Page 49, you'll be authorizing a contract with William Crawford, MD, for a total not to exceed $47,000. That was heard at public safety last week. Finally, on page 50, we'll be authorizing binding coverage and payment for premium of certain insurance coverage for fiscal year 2023. The premium total not to exceed $5,494, and you heard that at finance last week. This time, I do not know of any executive sessions nor suspended rules items. Do you have any questions?
Any questions, Mr. Bobbitt? Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, sir.
We got public projects, finance, and admin today. Counselor Lanier, you will be chairing admin today, and I'll be vice chair, and Raymond, you'll be a member for admin today. So, and then properties is the same. Without Mr. Bell here, so just admin, Councilman here, you'll be chairing. Properties at 5, Councilman at 6. Next Wednesday, framework plan commission meeting, ribbon cutting to Thursday morning at 10 on the River District Park. And Police and Fire Pension Board meets Monday, October 10th. Anybody else in the room have any comments? Anything you need to bring to the table today?
Also, Mr. Chair,
Yes.
this evening, beginning at 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., the Stillman College presents National Night Out. They're looking forward to all persons who would like to come out and be a part of that event today. Thank you.
And hope it will be a good turnout. I talked to Mason Bonner yesterday.
Yeah.
Mr. President.
I'd
Yes,
just
sir.
like to thank, my colleagues and staff and people that reached out in my dad's illness. It means a lot more than you know. He's in rehab right now, so hopefully he's getting worked out today and feeling better. So he's on the road to recovery. I appreciate that very much.
It was wonderful to hear that, for sure. I promised Tuscaloosa County 4-H Club I would let y'all know there's sweet potato sale. I have no commission on this at all. You get a 40-pound box of Vardaman, Mississippi sweet potatoes for only $25.
It's getting winter
And you don't
time.
have to
Get
pay
you some.
today, but if you'd like to sign up, just sign up. And it's the holiday season coming up, and sweet potatoes there.
Sweet potato pies,
Potato pies and all that good stuff.
candy yams.
Candy, yeah, I can't make no pies, just candy
I
yams.
can't even make candy yams.
Now you got us hungry, kid.
Sounds good. All right, so holiday food coming up.
Season safe, cooked on candy yams.
Is there anybody else need to bring anything for the pre-council? Is there a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.